This is the Everything is Earned Cleveland Sports Podcast, and I am your host, Big Mike.
And I am Tim.
And we're here to break down all the stuff happening in your Cleveland sports world. And we've got a doozy of an episode. That's right, I said a doozy.
A doozy.
A doozy. There's lots of stuff to talk about, and we're super excited because Cleveland just put on a show. They put on big bright lights. We had an all-star weekend here in Cleveland, and it was phenomenal. Just all the way around, national reporters, local Clevelanders, we showed out, and Cleveland looked amazing.
Yeah, people didn't like the idea of Cleveland hosting. We have a few big events coming up within the next 5 years, several big events, and the MLB All-Star Weekend kind of tipped us off to see how Cleveland was going to handle things, and Cleveland did not disappoint.
Absolutely not, and the great thing about that is it starts to change the perspective nationally that
the perception.
Perception that Cleveland is not a place to go, or you don't want to be here, or it's like run down and crappy. And I just think that's definitely not the case anymore. And if you're from Cleveland or if you've been in Cleveland recently, you know that it's an awesome place to hang out.
Yeah, if you're from Cleveland, you've been saying this for years, and then always the outside perspective is, oh, Cleveland is the big things are Cleveland's weather sucks. There's nothing to do in Cleveland. And we'll slowly just kind of, and the river's on fire. But Cleveland is slowly kind of changing and churning away that perception, that false idea. And we had some Cleveland natives that spoke about Cleveland and what it's like to be from Cleveland and how we kind of have that chip on our shoulder. I think Drew Carey mentioned it, Joe Thomas.
Travis Kelce,
mm-hmm. And a few more bid stars, the Cleveland natives, just talked about what's wrong with how people perceive our city.
Yeah, it was great, and the nice thing about it is they made baseball really, really fun. And I think that's a problem that baseball has sometimes, is it doesn't have that fun feel to it. You know, with a long season like it is.
And it's a slow pace of the game.
Absolutely. And they just made baseball feel like that classic game when you first kind of got into baseball. And it was a lot of fun. They made the sport look amazing. They, all the big stars showed out. Lindor was constantly saying that this is his city. Loved every bit of that. You had Travis Hafner in the celebrity game belt a softball into the stands.
Kenny Lofton. There's another one that I'm missing.
Sandy Alomar, he said some stuff over the weekend.
No, it was a former Indians player.
Carlos Baerga, he said some stuff. Yeah,
yes.
Baerga
said some stuff.
He's a beast.
But then we had locals like we had MGK, we had Joe Thomas.
Baker showed up to the game.
J.R. Smith was in the game.
He lost his shirt.
Which is the best thing we've seen from J.R. in about a year and a half.
Definitely got some good brownie points with the Cleveland fans for losing his shirt again. That was kind of cool. Yeah. I enjoyed all that. That was fun. But anyways, it was a lot of fun. We enjoyed All-Star Weekend. We had
good weather.
A great weather. We had a good time, and Cleveland went up in national perspective. So kind of love that. So
it was a good week in Cleveland.
Great week in Cleveland. So besides the All-Star Weekend, not besides, inside of the All-Star Week, there was some things going on like the celebrity game. And that was just a fun time for a lot of Cleveland celebrities.
He was in the team.
Yeah, Stipe showed up.
Yeah, Stipe.
Who was Simone Biles or whatever her name is?
Yeah,
she was there too. Yeah,
she's really tiny.
She's so tiny. She's standing next to Joe Thomas. You're like, whoa.
Yeah, if you didn't think she was that tiny, we had the comparison. Yeah, of Joe Thomas next to her.
I forget that she's from here sometimes.
Me too.
And then she shows up. And it's like, okay, sure.
Yeah,
Olympic athlete. Yeah, okay. All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right, Simone.
Yeah, Cleveland.
Cleveland.
CJ McCollum was in that.
Just producing great players and
Steph Curry was born at Acton General.
Yeah, he's
that.
Great talent. Yeah, it's all around. So, celebrity game was a lot of fun. It was just mostly a goofball show. Enjoyed the Travis Hafner bomb.
The Miz was in it too.
The Miz was in there too.
He was mic'd up. That was kind of weird. Because we know him from WWE, and we're like, all right, so he's gonna be a narrator. He's gonna be a host for.
Hold on. We know The Miz from WWE, from Cavs intro videos, and from
Do we?
and from Brown's intro videos. He's always like, "This is our town. This is how we do it.
Is
I'm
that
a
him?
WWE superstar." And like that's the Miz. he had that big speech thing.
I don't think I ever knew that.
In the it's him, yeah. He did the whole thing with like the finals run when he had that big like mega speech for like, "This is Cleveland. This is what we do. And we grind it out.
Rise up, all for one.
And it's super tough and it's gritty and
we're College City."
Yeah, and there's dirt on our pants and like and that's what like Mrs. whole speech was. But everyone was like, "Yes,
Yeah, that's us.
that's us. We're dirty and we're trying hard." No, but we're a blue collar city, and we understand that. And the Miz just thinks he's like a big mega superstar, and like I guess.
The representative for our city.
Yeah, I think his family owns like a bunch of like
small businesses.
Yeah, no, they own a bunch of Mr. Heroes. That's how like
him and Brian Hoyer.
That's how
man.
Hue Jackson, Brian Hoyer got hooked up.
Yeah, him and Brian Hoyer are solely just the backbone of Cleveland's economy.
Yeah.
They're in the background. You don't know about it, but they're there.
Yeah, there's creating Roman burgers for everybody. It's just a thing. So not to knock the Miz or his Cleveland stardom, but it was fun. We enjoyed it. Good time at the celebrity game. So besides the celebrity game, we had the home run derby, which was lots of fun. Santana did not play super well. He kind of had a slow start.
He had one of the worst pitches there.
His pitcher was so slow. He was like, "I might get the ball out." And then it's
outside.
He
wanted to enjoy the moment. The pitcher is, "Alright, I'm going to throw it to you, and then I'm going to watch. I'm going to throw it to you, and watch." But to give him, to lay off him a little bit, I think that was the rule book. I think that was in the rule book. I think you were supposed to throw it and wait till it landed. So either in the crowd or on the field. I think that was part of the rule book, which many of the other contestants didn't follow.
Well, the other thing to note is that Santana likes the ball more inside, and he was throwing the ball more outside.
And in the dirt.
So not quite...
He put it at the dirt.
Not quite the spot where Santana would have liked the ball. So,
and he's kind of a slower hitter.
He doesn't have that... He kind of puts that weight pop into swing. It. Yeah. He's got a bigger wind up.
And he's more known for his keen eye at the plate. So there's a few times he actually just kind of let it be. I'm like, there you go. Don't swing that ball. Don't swing at balls.
Wait for your pitch.
Yeah, it was a natural instinct. He's like, all right. I'm gonna walk in this one.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is too. So he actually lost to Pete Alonso.
Yeah, in the first
who
round.
won the whole thing.
14.
Who won the whole thing? So you understand like you lost the champ.
Tip to your hat. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
But it was fun times. It took a while to heat up, and then it finally got really hot.
Yeah, after his first home run, the Cleveland crowd started rolling for him, and then he hit a several in a row.
Yeah, the home run derby itself was a long event. It got a lot more fun towards the end. We had those swing offs.
We had a record-setting 91 homers by Vladimir Guerrero. Yeah,
it was fun.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that. It was good times.
Weird, it happened in Cleveland.
Yeah, fun. Yeah. Everyone said that the home run derby was a ton of fun. Like it got so much positive press. So big fan of the home run derby. That was a lot of fun. And then the All-Star game. So the All-Star game was kind of funky itself. So you had okay play by Lindor. You had okay play by Santana.
It was in the dirt.
And then
the game was in the dirt.
And then our boy Shane Bieber came in there, first time All-Star,
fifth inning,
and then struck the whole side out in 19 pitches. Was like, oh, by the way,
I just throw heat.
I just throw fire. Can I please get the MVP trophy? Thank you.
And then gave it to him.
Yeah, and then Brad Hand tried to mess the game up, but he was like, listen, I saved my best work for games that count, but I'll still get us out of the jam. No problem. So they wrapped the game up, and they're like, listen, I think Bieber's the guy we should give it to. He's pretty good. I think he has a cool name. He throws a lot of heat, and he did it in 19 pitches. So it was probably the most fun moment. He had the crowd chanting for him. Just a good moment for Cleveland, and he took some great pictures. And like to have the hometown guy win the MVP is a lot of fun.
Yeah, he seemed very mature too. The way he handled his interviews, the way he represented Cleveland, I think that was just added to the overall good feel and positive kind of perspective towards Cleveland.
Absolutely, and you know what was great about Bieber too is he's been the Indians' best pitcher this year. So even though Bauer is probably a better talent at this point in his career, Bieber has been the Indians' best pitcher, so totally deserved to be there. Absolutely deserved the moment.
He was kind of a late call, too.
It was tons of fun, yeah.
He wasn't part of the initial...
Yeah. But it was great. I loved it. I thought Bieber crushed it. Great All-Star weekend by the Indians. Great job by Cleveland.
And just a little bit more to add with just a little bit more to add. Just to add a little bit more in this MLB talk, there are several MLB analysts that are widely known in that sport. Spoke to many of the players in the also game, also weekend, and said this is one of the, or if not the best, city that's hosted that they've played in. And he said he's spoken to multiple players that have been in 4, 5, 6 All-Star games.
That speaks volumes. If you've been to multiple All-Star games and Cleveland's your favorite place out of all the All-Star games you've been to,
it's the way that they hosted, the way that they just handled everything, whether it be from game to game or event to event.
Listen,
and just the overall kind of feel to the atmosphere and all the different side events that they have.
We're built for this, man. We know how to host big events. We've been doing it forever now, man.
Well, we know this. Cleveland live and breathe sports.
Yeah, this is our thing.
So hosting these big events shouldn't be big news that we show up, we shine in these moments.
Yeah, so. we've crushed a lot of things. We did the RNC. We held that big ass parade that won after we won the title. I mean, we did it better than Toronto.
Well, over 1 point.
There was no.
Was it 2.2? 2.2 million.
1.2 million. 1.2 million. A ton of friggin' people. There'll be more during the Browns parade. Anyways, lots of fun. Great weekend by Cleveland. Really enjoyed it. So that's gonna.
What do we have next year? What are we hosting next year? An NCAA tournament.
We have some other stuff coming up. It's gonna be a fun time. I mean, there's just a lot of good things going on in Cleveland. So the Indians have another thing coming up here. This big series to start the second half. It worked out so well with the schedule that they had the Twins right after the All-Star break, because the Twins have been the guys they've been chasing, and we're 5.5 back going into the series.
Yeah, we won 6 straight to put us into the All-Star break.
Yeah, and
so
that's
they're heating up. They're what? You said 5.5 games back.
5.5 back. So going into the
and we're playing the Twins. We're playing the Twins right now, aren't we?
Yeah, we're playing the Twins right now. A 3-game series over the weekend. So it should be
Indians up 3-1.
Yeah, we're up
top of the 7th.
It's been good. So really enjoy, and Clevenger's picking tonight.
Oh, Cleveland's hosting the AFC Championship game and NCAA tournament in 2020.
Yeah.
So a great way to kind of segment and transition into this past year.
All right, I don't know if anyone heard that. The AFC Championship game. That's NFL, and that means the Browns are winning the division, and going on to the second round.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're hosting regardless, but yes, it will be hosting the Browns versus blank team
because we'll have home field advantage.
Yes.
Right.
And we'll be in that position.
Absolutely. So, Twin series. I think we're going to take the sweep. I'm pulling the homer pick. We're going to sweep them, and we're going to be 2.5 going into the next series with Detroit. Indians have this momentum, and one of the things that came out over the All-Star week was that Lindor was asked, do you think the Indians will be buyers or sellers? And he said, yes, I think the Indians, we have this momentum, and that we're going to be adding even more talent before the trade deadline to make the push in the second half of this year. So
we already did that. We did that tonight.
What?
We added a right-handed pitcher from the Padres, I believe, didn't we? Yeah, Phil Maton, the Padres.
Oh.
Yeah, 26-year-old. He will be assigned to the AAA. I haven't seen too much because we were in the midst of all this research for this episode. But I'm looking at it now.
That's a breaking news mid-pod type of situation. Wow, good job out of you, Tim, being locked in.
Yeah, that's what we do.
That's what you get here. Everything is earned. We give you mid-pod and news happens, and we are on it to let you guys know what's going on. But yes, we'll be adding more talent. I'm definitely for it. Lindor said we're going to be buyers. So I just want to know, do you think we're going to trade any kind of big players like a Bauer?
Buyers, sellers? Is that what I meant?
Do you think we're going to sell, like, do you think we're going to trade?
I'm buying that we're selling Trevor Bauer.
Okay, so you're thinking that we're going to trade Bauer, add some more hitting.
Well, we didn't. Our starting pitching is getting healthy.
And beef up the bullpen a little bit.
Our starting pitching is getting healthy. Mike Clevenger's back tonight from his ankle injury.
Yeah, he is.
I think he played one game before the break.
Yeah, he was kind of.
But yeah, he's working himself back in.
Salazar just did a rehab.
As we know, Shane Bieber is hot right now.
Yeah, All-Star MVP.
So he's gonna. I'll imagine he's gonna keep
Saucy.
going. We have the morale from the whole Carlos Carrasco stuff.
Yeah, we do.
Pretty strong.
Cookie
Hashtag.
strong. Love it.
And we rounded out with Pluto. Is that it?
Plutko?
Pluto.
Pluko?
Pluto.
Yeah,
Pluto.
Adam Pluko. Adam Pluko. Yes. No, he's...
And Hand.
Yeah, Hand's not a starter. His hands are closer, bud. He's a closer. He's going to close the door.
You're a baseball guy.
Don't worry. I'm on it. So...
I'm so deep into this trade stuff.
Okay, so if you go ahead and trade Bauer, who hasn't actually shown up in the playoffs at all, so I know you are big on, if they're not going to show up in the playoffs, I don't really want them anyways.
Yes,
His ERA is 3.91 in the playoffs.
Bauer's?
I want to say like close to 30 innings pitched, maybe a little bit less.
Which is a decent
29
sample size.
But as a stud, you should have a better ERA than a 3.9 in the playoffs.
Well, you can say the same thing about Corey Kluber last year. He didn't do anything.
Yeah, but we know when Kluber is healthy, he's absolutely a cannon, and he's one of the pieces you can rely on.
And we can mention how Baseball Billy, on one of the last baseball segments, talked about how Tito has been mismanaging some of his pitches and utilizing them in the regular season.
Hold on.
And that's kind of translated to the playoffs.
All right, but hold on. Tito is one of the reasons, one of the big reasons why the Indians haven't fallen off the wagon this year and are somehow into this playoff race after a rocket month in June going into July. So you gotta give Tio credit on this one. So I understand. I definitely agree with you on some of the pitching decisions he made in the past, but right now he is doing one heck of a job, and he's definitely building his case for Manager of the Year. But I think what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to add a little bit more beef in the bullpen and a little bit more hitting. So if you could get a package for Bauer, and I mean it in that full sense.
In an offensive way. That's what I want.
I want something now, and I want something later. So that means I want a player that can come and contribute right now.
Present.
So I want a hitter like Frazier, and then I want a pitcher that's going to come in either down the road here.
Develop through AAA.
Yeah, so you want to definitely build that farm system a little bit more. So it's got to be a lucrative trade for the Indians. You got to add something.
Multi-dimensional.
Who's got some assets the Indians could tap is the Astros. Now, I don't necessarily want to trade with the Astros because you're going to probably play space in the playoffs if you want to get to the World Series.
That's going to be a tough even idea for both owners.
Yeah,
both managers.
I think the Astros are going to come calling, and the Indians have to realize
that's kind of a weird relationship.
Do they want to answer the call?
You can kind of compare with the Patriots and the Rams because you have McVay and Belichick who had an oddly close relationship at the beginning of the season, and they threw thoughts back and forth at each other, and then they faced each other over in the Super Bowl.
It's this cookie cutter cupcake nonsense that we live in today's sports world, where everyone's like, "Hey, we're homies. We can't hate each other."
Right.
Bring out some hate, man. I got all this anger. The Astros freaking pissed me off because of all that nonsense cheating bullcrap they did last year when they had guys picking up our calls, and then the MLB investigated and was like, "Boom, here's a fine." And I was like, "The hell?" And that was it. That's all they got. And then it's the next series they got their butts kicked. But no. God forbid that they get away with cheating for a series. And it
should have been eliminated.
No, you can't do that. That's a whole thing is revenue. It's
cheating.
No, they should have caught it right away, and then they should have had to make him adjust accordingly. But there should have been more suspensions. They picked a guy who wasn't even on their payroll, paid his butt, and then like let him go. Like he was like a contracted employee to go spy on him. He was like, "Oh, we don't really know this guy. We just run him a couple paychecks to win a playoff series." But on the flip side of things, the Indians didn't have any hitting and totally deserved to lose that series. So
they did.
But they
did cheat and give themselves an advantage.
Absolutely.
A non-ethical advantage.
So you have to wonder, are you going to make a trade with a competitive team in the AL if you're trying to move a guy like Trevor Bauer and get some assets back. So that's just one of the things you got to kind of weigh out.
I think you'll get less of a return if you're trying to play for that contender, and you'll get more futures than you would present. But going back to Tito a little bit, I do have a comment, a little factoid, if you will.
A little factoid.
I do believe he's above average GM in the league. I do believe he's done a great job this year.
Mm-hmm.
And for kind of towards your idea that this whole love Tito thing, which I'm not against, I found out that the Indians under Terry Francona, going into the All-Star break.
So you found out that a Terry Francona
led Indians team that were 500 or better before or going into the All-Star break has never missed the playoffs.
Ooh. I mean, the Indians, if the playoffs ended today, they definitely have the wild card. But I don't want the wild card. I want the division. Right. But that's a nice little factoid.
Never
So as long as Francona's team is above 500 going into All-Star break, they're gonna hit the playoffs. Yes. That's pretty impressive. It's good stuff. I like that a lot. So for the Indians, I think that's all we really have at the moment. There's a lot to talk about. For some odd reason, not odd reason, there's real tangible things that happened that brought the Indians back to life. But we didn't think we'd be here, but here we are, back to life. The Indians baseball's cooking, and the All-Star weekend is only another push that's going to help get us there. How great would it be?
Give me a little nos.
If you could make
to
make a little playoff run. You know what I'm saying?
Give us a little boost.
You know what I'm saying? A
little shove.
Little playoff run.
Little, audible shove towards something.
Little shake. I'm ready for it. So, turn up the heat. I'm ready for some baseball. We're gonna be heading down some more games.
Win the playoffs. Keep them in Cleveland.
Yeah. Let's
baseball, football. Not ready for basketball yet, but we're getting there.
We're getting there.
We're all about playoffs. Let's do it.
Yeah, bring some more playoff fun. I'm ready for it. So, going into our next team, which we all know and love, the Browns. Everyone loves the Browns.
We
got the Browns mania.
So much hype going on right now.
So much hype. Now, I don't want people to tell me about slowing my roll, because I'm just so sick of it.
I'm too excited. We've been bad for long enough that every other fan base is trying to hold us down. Even though they've been excited, they've been spouting the bullshit for years about all their excitement for whatever teams and bashing Cleveland, bashing the Browns. 1-15 season, perfect season, 0-16. Now we have talent, we have coaching, we have front office management, stability that can help be sustained for
future success,
past short term, and we're kind of rounding out into a complete organization. And when's the last time you can say that for the Browns?
Before they came back in '99.
Before they came back, probably in the '80s.
So it's been 20 years of bad Browns football from top to bottom, and I don't want to hear your whiny nonsense about how they haven't done anything yet. Yes, thank you, grain of salt. Thank you,
Mr. Obvious.
Thank you, the Devil's advocate person. I don't need it in my Browns hype train. You can get away from my hype train.
We're positive vibe, thoughts, mentalities here.
We're here for all the action, all the big stories, all the touchdowns, and all the possible MVP trophies we're gonna win this year. That's right.
Give me it all.
Yeah, I want all of it. Inject it into my veins.
Is that foreshadowing?
It's not even foreshadowing to me. I'm making predictions, bud. I'm out here thinking Baker Mayfield has the opportunity to record an MVP season.
He has a sixth best chance right now?
He has
plus 1,400?
Great betting odds, and he's got some of the most weapons around him.
Resources,
yeah. You win MVPs because you're throwing bombs and you're getting guys the ball in position, and the Browns are going to be open all year long. What are you going to do when you have OBJ running an out route? You have Jarvis Landry running a drag, and you got
Higgins
David Njoku running a post route, and then you got freaking Chubb out the backfield. And then what are you going to do, man? And then Baker's doing a fake to Kareem Hunt, and he's tossing it to Chubb, and then Chubb's tossing it to OBJ, and OBJ's tossing it to Landry. I mean, Landry wasn't running an out route at the start of this idea, but he's back. He came back for it. He looped around, and he got a touchdown. It's going to happen. The Browns have way too many weapons for us not to be an explosive offensive team and for us not to put up major league points. There's teams that have been big-time scorers in the last few years. I know we're thinking of the Rams, we're thinking of the Chiefs, and we're thinking of the Falcons, man.
Saints.
And the Saints. Those teams put up mega points. And you know what wins games? Points, man. You got to win points. Everyone talks about, defense first. How did any of the teams win the last several Super Bowls? Points, man. You got to score points.
It's just outscoring your opponent. You might have a better defense than me, but can you outscore me?
It's
the same mentality as the 2017 Cavs did. It's, you might have a much better defense than us, but can you stop our offense? We're going to put up 120 points a game. Can you match that?
Yeah, the Browns are going to put up 35. They're going to put up 35. Their teams
30. I think 32 is like. I'll probably say 27-28 is the ground floor, which is insane considering just the other year we averaged 17.5, 18.
Yeah, you're going to put up.
I think it was like 19.2.
You're going to put up a ton of points, and teams are going to be like, "Thank God we got to stop on third down," because it's going to be score after score after score. Get used to opening drive touchdowns, because a scripted opening drive against this Browns offense, good luck stopping it. The Browns are going to lead the league in opening drive touchdowns. It's just going to happen.
Hot take.
You're going to happen. It's going to happen every time because you have way too many weapons, and a scripted opening drive is so tough to stop because it's just going to be afraid. Just like fire, 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 first down, draw play, touchdown, pass fake.
Yeah, it's 8-speed screen.
Do you think we're gonna go for 2-point conversions a lot this year?
That is a good idea. That is an intriguing idea because you saw a few teams do that last year. Mm-hmm. I think it was like 90% of the time.
Steelers did it a lot, and then Rams did a lot.
Yeah. I think a few teams also did it. Oh, the Rams did it when Beilein was out with the joint injury for a while.
But you gotta do it, man.
But it's a great idea because not only do we have a potentially very high-powered offense, is we have the potential to have an elite defense, which I started to mention as soon as we let Greg Williams go, which was the first step. The next step was adding this talent, adding Olivier Vernon, adding Sheldon Richardson, having another year under the Jannard Avery's belt, adding a guy across from Denzel Ward and Greedy Williams, and rounding out your safeties with adding Sheldrick Redwine and signing Morgan Burnett from the Packers. And you just kind of letting oversized contracts go, bringing in new guys that have talent, have value, and kind of have that chip on their shoulder, which is what kind of the Browns are going for.
Would you say we have a window, Tim? A window of opportunity?
3 or 4 year window.
Yeah, when the window's open?
Well, you can say for 3 or 4... yeah, I'm going to elaborate on that. But 3 or 4 years, you can say we can have a Super Bowl caliber run.
Yeah, I'm ready
every year, you can say... you can put the Browns in conversation of, okay, those are one of the 4 or 5 teams that could win a Super Bowl this year.
Absolutely.
Along with the Rams, Chiefs, Patriots as always, as long as Belichick and Tom Brady are breathing.
Falcons have come back this year strong.
That's a different story that people will agree or not agree with. And then, what's one more?
Falcons. I said the Falcons.
Okay, well, I don't agree with you on that one.
The Chargers?
Chargers.
If Melvin Gordon doesn't fall off a cliff. Okay, so, but my point was, Timmy,
4 or 5 teams.
4 or 5 teams,
and the Browns are one of them.
So, should you go for the 2 points more this year though? Because I think analytics says that if you can get more 2 points, then your percentage of winning goes way up. Plus, your completion.
Well, it made sense.
It's gonna balance out. You score one.
You have those weird score lines where someone will miss a PAT. and then a field goal can instead of tying it, can win it,
but
stuff like
that. Think about this. Say your offense is hot, man. It's hot tamales. You score 4 touchdowns, okay, so you get 28 points, but then you add 4 more points from 2-point conversions.
24. It would be 24 if you're not counting extra points.
No, I said 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, so it would be 24 points, which not including
Can
KTs.
you add 24
6 plus
4
6 plus 6 plus 6. How many is that? 24.
Right.
That's what we're talking about, because extra point is what we're talking about hasn't been added, because instead of 1 point, you're saying 2 points.
Yes.
So we're doubling up on that.
Right.
So 2 times 4 is what?
It's 12. We're doing that.
Wait, what?
2 times.
Wait, you guys all hold that.
Say it again. 2 times 1.
You guys heard it.
I was doing different math in my
Hot
head.
take, guys.
Say it again.
2 plus 4. 2 times 4 is 12.
No, 2 times. Why is he asking me 2 times 4?
2 times 4. 2-point conversion times 4 touchdowns. 8 points. Not 12.
You do math in a weird way, man.
Mothers, fathers, throw out your font systems. We got covered here. 2 times 4 is 12 now.
No, I just don't understand how. Why
Wars upside down. The Browns are in contention.
Your math is weird, bro.
LeBron's in LA. OBJ's in Cleveland. Crazy things are happening, guys. Crazy things are happening.
No, your math is wrong. Is what I'm saying. Is you're doing the math. You're doing the math.
No,
wrong.
I'm not. 6 times 4. 6 points is what you get from a touchdown.
Right.
Times 4 touchdowns is the scenario you gave me.
Okay.
Is 24.
Right.
So, plus using
plus 2 points for each touchdown afterwards.
Yes.
So you got
2 times 4.
Timmy,
is 8. So instead of 24 points, you'd have 30. You have 30. Is what you're trying to get to.
Do I have 30, Tim?
You're trying to have 30.
Yeah. Yes, I have 30. So my whole point is that you have to.
32.
You have to.
32.
Yes, I said your math is so messed up. So my whole point is you add 4 more points to the bottom line, and your 28-point game turns into 32. And now
you multiply that by.
Now you have 5 scores.
Yeah,
that's why it matters.
By 16 weeks.
That's why it matters. You score a lot more points. So I say go for 2. I'm so for it. Speaking of bad math, the NFL proposed an idea today where you could do 16 games to 18 games, but they screwed the whole thing up because they said their idea says there's a 16-game limit per player. So what are you going to do? You're going to sit Baker for 2 games? So I'm going to play Baker for 16 of my most important games, and when I play the Bengals and when I play the Bills or whatever team, I'm not going to end up playing
the
Baker.
Lions.
And it's going to be a Drew Stanton game, or you're going to have OBJ be quarterback. I just don't understand why you would do a 2-player thing. It's almost like you're adding a whole other strategy point, which is cool.
It is cool. I like that idea.
But what you're doing is it's going to cost you fandom. So, for example, say I buy tickets to a game that Baker sits. Wouldn't you be pissed if you went and see a game, watch Baker play?
Well,
I'd sitting.
I think the league and teams would have to collaborate and agree that you would have to you'd have to let other teams know and let the league know who's being sat for those specific games.
But no, because then you can have a strategy point because you release your inactives right before the
that's
kickoff.
True.
Right,
but then you'd have those scenarios where you say the fans. Well, you have the NBA. You have players like LeBron. You have players like Kawhi, Paul George.
You know how messed up this
Chris
would
Paul and
make
and James
fantasy
Harden.
Football?
Oh yeah, fantasy football would go crazy.
Fantasy football would be so jacked up.
But
how are you going to determine what week you're going to sit Baker and not sit Baker?
Well, jacked up. Well, it's 2 sides of the spectrum. It's either jacked up or super pissed.
Because what happens if you're in a pivotal fantasy game and you're like, I'm gonna start Baker. He's gonna wreck the Bengals. And then all of a sudden they're like Bengals right before the game starts. Frank Kitchen's like, no, we're starting Drew Stanton. And you're like, no, I'm gonna lose my matchup.
Yeah, instead of putting 35 points up on the board,
and because the strategy aspect of it, you can't sub out Stanton, and now you're stuck with Baker. Now you're stuck with Stanton, and you have no quarterback, and so he's cost yourself 30 points in a fantasy game.
You had Big Ben on the bench, and you start instead of having whatever.
It's going to be a mess. Fantasy, they have to figure out something for fantasy because NFL makes a ton of money on fantasy, just a ridiculous amount of money on fantasy football. So you can't not have that aspect.
I think they're weighing that with the revenue that they'd gain from the 2 extra games.
They just have to figure it out.
All they eliminating.
And fantasy has to figure out as well. It's a whole set of problems.
Are they eliminating 2 preseason games to add these on?
Yeah, you'd have to. You need to do 2 preseason games,
Right.
and you have 18.
So then there's the other...
Plus, there's a bye week, so it's going to be 19 weeks of football.
Yeah, which people like in a sense, but then we move on to the other aspect of it, of coaching and players, and those are 2 separate
And
discussions.
injuries and all kinds of
You
stuff.
add players. Would you be okay with, maybe say, 10-15% increase in your overall salary for 2 more chances to get injured every year?
Well, here's the other thing, too. You're going to extend the rosters, too. So you're going to add more players to the roster. So now your roster can get bigger. So when all you big babies are crying about losing bottom of the road players because they were a fan favorite when the team was bad, like now you'll be able to keep your players.
I don't think they'd change the
Who are the
after
players? Like Kajus. We could have Kajus on the roster because we have all these extra roster spots.
Nassib.
Yeah, Carl
Nassib.
Nassib. All you Carl Nassib fans out there that were crying over Carl Nassib.
I was a big fan of. I liked him.
Oh, you're a big fan of getting 2.5 sacks a year?
He got 6 sacks. I think 7.5. Yeah, like 5.5 or 6 sacks.
No, he had like 6 sacks, 5 sacks, and half of them were against Baker because he was turned up against the Browns.
Yeah,
because the Browns' offensive line was trash before Freddie got there.
So it was against Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah, we crushed. Yeah, he didn't crush Tyrod. It was gross. It was not great. I didn't love it because freaking William, what's his name? Our dumb offensive coordinator who thought he was like
Todd Haley.
Todd Haley was like, listen, Hugh, we all know you're a dummy. This is my team. Let's run an offense from the 70s. Like,
and it will get you fired, then I will become the head coach.
Yeah, and then
Jimmy Haslam was like, I'm not fire both y'all.
Yeah, the best thing about that was I think Dorsey was like, listen, this one over here is all bad too. Just get rid of him too. Like Dorsey was like, hey, Jimmy, perspective though. You don't need to make Haley your coach. You can make Freddie your coach. And Haslam was like, great idea. See y'all. Like,
yeah. Jimmy Haslam in that perspective in this scenario.
Dorsey's the puppet master.
It's like Toby Allman with the draft process this year. Oh yeah, John Beilein, do what you want. Who should I pick? Oh, okay. Yeah, he's good. Yeah.
Dorsey's the puppet master. He's running the Browns, which is why we're going to be good again.
But yeah, back to the whole active roster thing. I don't think they're add additional slots for the active roster as teams.
They have to because more games.
I think teams are gonna utilize the practice squads more.
You have to because you're gonna have a whole
starting
players cannot start 2 games. So that means Garrett has to sit 2 games. Baker has to sit 2 games. OBJ has to sit 2 games. So you have to extend the rosters because who are you going to plug into these other positions?
That's what I'm saying.
You don't have enough players.
That's what I'm saying. You're going to extend the practice squads.
It's going to be you're
going to extend active rosters.
Yes, you are absolutely.
I don't think so.
You're going to address 53.
You tell us, guys. I comment somewhere on one of our social medias, whether it be Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Our handle is CLE Sports Pod. Let us know what you guys think. Are they extend active rosters to change if they do implement this new 18-game regular season, or are they extend the practice squads?
It's gonna what costs
the league less money? Practice squads.
No.
Are they doing this? Doing
more
of this,
players, man.
Are they gonna do this more for revenue? If they're doing this for revenue, they're trying to cut down on the expenses that are gonna be added towards changing this new regular season.
Yeah, think about how the players union thinks about it too. Though they want more players, more jobs, more opportunities to become employed in the NFL. Come on, Tim. Come on. You gotta give and take here.
Well, you got the NFL PA or whatever the Players Association is for the NFL, and then you have the owners all join. So the owners are trying to spend the least amount of money, and the players are trying to get the most amount of money. So it's whatever the compromise is.
They'll figure it out.
Yeah.
If they have.
So I think the compromise is associated with the practice squad. That's my opinion.
Extend the active roster.
Okay.
More players.
Anyways, I think
more flexibility.
along with your idea, I think
you're the backups.
I was about to say, I think
quarterbacks.
I think the value of that's exactly where I was going with that.
Patriots about to get some more first round picks out here.
Yeah, they're about to extend the dynasty another 15 to 20 years. But yeah, backup quarterbacks are about to become extremely more valuable and negotiations with contracts are about to be way more lucrative.
If it happens.
For them.
If
If it happens.
Yeah, we'll
see. That's the big
all kinds of players are going to ask for all kinds of more money, too.
Yes.
So, but whatever. We'll get to that road when we get there.
Oh, one more quick thing with football. How mad do NFL players have to be every year during the NBA free agency? When you have players like Danny Green, J.J. Redick,
Reggie Bullock.
I'm about to say players
McKeith Morris
signed with the Knicks. Yeah, Morris, Bullock, and Julius Randle and a few others.
Terry Rozier, man, a backup player, getting
58 guaranteed.
58 guaranteed. And
I'd be so pissed. I would go on vacation. I would forget all about it. I'd go airplane mode the entire time. I wouldn't follow Woj, that's for sure. But yeah, that's be probably the most frustrating part of the year for any NFL player.
I'll be
especially for
I'll call my agent like, yo, give me some endorsements, man. I need to buff up my.
I'd sign an NBA agent. I'm like, whoever's like one of the top NBA agents. I'm like, hey, do you also do NFL?
Can you give me some endorsements?
Can you give me that JJ Redick money?
I need some JJ Redick monies for real, like absolutely.
I need some like 2-year, $26 million kind of stuff.
That's what Le'Veon Bell wanted. 2 years, $26 million.
He did.
Give him that money.
He did.
Okay, so moving on from the NFL, we got a couple more things. The Cavs are really bad in summer league. They're 1-6. Did they lose tonight? 1-6. They lose. I didn't see. Let's just find out what happened.
The Kings. Well, they have no.
They won. They beat the Kings. They're now 2-6 in
8 games.
And they won in overtime in the summer league.
Well, we have nobody.
Well, because Windler is the only guy out there playing. Because what's his face isn't playing yet. Garland
or Porter Jr.
So
yeah.
So
Porter Jr. is coming off that tweaked knee,
and then
his hip flexor, and then Garland's coming off a meniscus tear from this past season. That happened in November.
So we'll see him eventually here.
Yeah, but
the Cavs preseason is gonna be lit though. I'm excited for that.
Yes, but you have one side piece in Windler. He's not a ball handler. He's not your main guy. It would be fun and entertaining to see him work off Garland and Porter Jr. in some league, but they're not in it. So it's basically him just jacking up threes.
Yeah, he's not a creator.
When the shot clock's at 3 seconds left in the 3 seconds left.
So Cavs are we're still in build mode. It's
just gaining experience for him.
Also, can I get Steven Adams, please? I want Steven Adams so bad. I'll trade you all my used pieces and parts for Steven Adams.
I'll give you
two second round quality picks.
I would give you a dryer.
And I'll give you J.R. Smith.
I need a washer, but I also need a center.
And I'll give you Tristan Thompson, and I'll take back Adams and Schroeder. Call it a deal.
Well, what was it? Brandon Knight, Tristan Thompson, and a few second rounders?
No, I gotta give you JR. I gotta give you JR, because JR's a cap relief for him, because they need cap relief.
They're all cap relief. They're all expiring.
Yeah, but JR's contract's gonna be released.
What, Tristan's 2 years?
Yeah, no, Tristan's 1 year. He's expiring.
Oh, it's it. Okay.
But JR's contract's got that option, so he's gonna make 3.9, so it goes from like 15 to 3.9, so they get an instant like 11 million cap relief.
Okay, so yeah, JR Thompson. JR Thompson. I'll
2 seconds.
I'll give you Ante too.
Whatever. And
then they have to make salads work. I think would have to take Felton.
No, you take Shelton and Schroeder. Schroeder and Adams back.
Okay.
Which is fine.
That sounds good.
I'll take both those guys. I want.
And
Adams
would you give
so
up
bad.
2 second rounders, or would you have to give 2 second round and a first?
No, 2 second rounders fine.
I think 2 second rounders.
Yeah, they want.
You saw what Kobe Altman was able to do with the second rounders.
Yeah.
This past year.
Entrepreneur, take the second rounders. Yeah. Kobe's like,
pair up with a young player.
Yeah.
Did a late first. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good. Give me Steven Adams. All right, last segment here. We got buy or sell. Our buy or sell.
No, we have a few.
No, you don't.
Yeah, we do. We had This Week in Cleveland.
It's this week.
Summary of what
we know what happened this week.
All-Star game. Carlos Carrasco. He was in attendance. He had a big cheer from the crowd. There was actually a segment before the game was Stand Up for Charity.
Is that Stand Up for Cancer? It was in the middle of the game, buddy.
Stand Up for Cancer.
It was between innings.
Yeah.
Everyone wrote it.
The charity.
Everyone wrote it on a poster.
I said Stand Up for Charity.
I stand up for charity all the time.
It was a charity called Stand Up for Cancer. It was an awesome moment. He was there to support his teammates, and
all his homies wrote Cookie on.
Yeah, they were all on him the entire time.
That's great. Loved it. Great show out by the great job again by the Indians in the All-Star weekend. Great job by Carrasco. Great job by his teammates being out there to support him and showing some love. So big moment, bigger than baseball. Really enjoyed that.
More than athlete.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we have this important series with Twins, which we already talked about. And then remember August and August 1st is the deadline to get rid of JR. So
when is the MLB deadline?
Excuse me.
Isn't it this weekend?
It's coming up soon.
Monday.
Gotta make some trades.
I think. No. I think it's I think it's July 31st. So we got a couple weeks. I think.
Gonna make some
trades. So look for Bauer to move moves. Look for the Indians to add some help with the bats.
Yeah, shift it up.
Made a little bit of a playoff on here, depending on how the next few weeks here go. Browns. We got
Duke Johnson.
Duke Johnson.
Guy's new agent.
Guy that the same agent that helped move Emmanuel Adba, and
help Perryman get out of his contract.
Get out of his
Drew Rosenhaus. Drew Rosenhaus.
Yes.
So he's a high-powered agent in the NFL.
Yeah, Hue Jackson talking nonsense, saying that some of his best coaching was in Cleveland during his 336-1 record.
Hold on.
He said saying something.
He said that he did some of his best coaching.
So prime coaching
in Cleveland when he went 336-1
with the Browns, including a 1-15 season and a perfect 0-16 season.
Yeah, you know what Hugh loves to do though is blame other people for his failures.
But
that's his favorite thing to do.
I think that's what it is. But we gotta watch the tape just to make sure.
We should absolutely watch the tape.
Watch the tape just to make sure.
We'll let you know next week.
And then we'll watch the tape 1 or 2 more times.
Yeah, we'll watch it again. We'll make sure we thoroughly cover the tape.
We had an NFL analyst talking about Baker and how his overall complete his complete person, his mentality, his ability, his character is just too big to fail.
And he thinks he's ideally suited to be an NFL MVP because of his attributes and what he brings to the table every single day.
And for the team that he's bringing it to, and to a team that's been pronounced as cursed, hopeless, lost, trash, you name it. It's something that Cleveland fans and fans all on the sport believe that they are never going to get out of. They're in a bottomless pit.
You mean to tell me, Timmy, all it takes is a quarterback to win in the NFL?
I think so.
But mostly a quarterback. Once you get a quarterback, everything else kind of falls into place.
Yeah, then you can build around that quarterback.
LaDainian Tomlinson thinks the Browns are going to be Cleveland Browns GMs the past 20 years have not thought of. I think we've had top 5 picks, 13 out of the last 19 years, and I think it was as deep in this past winter that we found a stat. But we only took a quarterback in the top 5 once, and that the quarterback was Tim Couch. Yep.
In 2000.
We'll soon take your top guy like Baker. Good things happen. So that's this week in Cleveland.
He said
things are popping.
He said, what about LT?
Oh,
Chargers Hall of Fame running back?
Yeah, he said that he believes the Browns hype, and he thinks that they have one of the best
young cores.
Young cores, yeah.
So like Baker Mayfield at 24, OBJ at 26, Jarvis at 26, Miles Garrett at 23, Denzel Ward at 22, just to name a few. Not mentioning Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb, Jannard Avery, or Callaway, which is all with those 4 specifically are all under 24 years old. This nucleus young core that we have, it's all like most of this hype is viewed, or it's there because it's the mass amount of potential that the Browns have for this season and this next few years. But as head coaches like past Browns head coach Eric Mangini always talks about, you don't have it until you make it happen. Like it's out there on paper, but you gotta make it happen. You gotta do it every day. You gotta do the day-to-day stuff to make that talented core come together as a team.
Well, that's one of the things you're gonna have come together at training camp. And that's where you're going to become a real team when you get together in training camp. And speaking of training camp, all the tickets got sold out. There's no tickets left for training camp. So
Twice.
If you get a ticket,
both rounds,
you're gonna have to
wait. You have to wait on your computer, and when it's time,
they're gone though. They're gone now. They're all gone.
No, I'm saying you gotta wait on them when they come out.
You can't. They're all gone. They had the second wave. It's
okay.
gone.
It's the second wave.
All the tickets are gone, people.
So
Timmy's like, you can still do it. There's still hope. He's been sitting by his computer all week. No, they're gone. You can't get training camp tickets. If you want them, you gotta buy them in the secondary market. I don't really care. That's fine. Enjoy it. The Browns are good. It's gonna be hard to get tickets. That's just the life of the party. Speaking of tickets, we also have a contest going on. And we're giving away some Redskins Browns tickets. So check out our social pages. There's instructions on how to do it. But you can win some Browns tickets if you want to get your hands on some sweet tickets to get yourself all pumped up for the Browns.
We are drawing July 25th, so we still have a few weeks left.
You got time, y'all. You got time.
And we have another contest coming up after that.
Oh, spicy.
So turn on notifications on our social media pages because we're always coming out with good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Good,
absolutely.
fun stuff.
Yeah, we're having all the fun.
Last thing with the Browns.
Timmy, I don't have any last things, bro.
I do.
Oh, you got last thing?
Yeah.
You better turn up for this last thing. It better be crap.
It's not crap.
It's not crap?
I don't remember.
Oh, it's Browns news,
I don't remember now.
So y'all love it.
And the last thing Browns related is Odell Beckham Jr. has been working with this social media phenom trainer called the Footwork King all month. I thought it was just a once or twice this past month, but he quoted our tweet, he got back with us that he's been working with him all month. So for those people who are doubting OBJ and his work ethic, he's been working. It's not in Cleveland. That's what people's main beef is. Oh, why can't he do this in Cleveland? I think he's out in California doing this.
It doesn't matter. The Browns aren't even having any scheduled practices. That's fine. I don't give a crap to me. He's with the Footwork King, who's nasty.
Who's helped so many professional athletes, specifically NFL, work on the body during the off seasons.
Yeah, footwork is absolutely huge with wide receivers. As you guys have seen probably on social media, there's a lot of hype videos with Ocho Cinco, and he had some of the nastiest footwork, and that's how he got open.
Well, if you have nasty footwork, you don't have to be fast.
But OBJ is fast, so it's like, it's a dual threat.
You can be any of the hands. He has a thing
crazy catch radius.
Yeah,
wow.
That's Chris Carter has talked about all the time on his talk show for Things First and Nick Wright. Hall of Famer, wide receiver, played for the Vikings a couple decades ago. How catch radius is the prized thing. That's the thing you want to have. The best thing you want to have is a large catch radius. So if you throw it up top to me, a couple feet up above me, I should be able to get it. If it's in the dirt, I can catch it. So basically it means there's your overall surrounding of you. So if I throw it, and if I'm a quarterback and I throw it off target, and you can still catch it, that's having a good catch radius. So expanding that catch radius is a huge attribute for wide receiver.
Right. So you have good footwork that plays into all you do as wide receiver. So
and it only makes you more lethal.
Absolutely great to see that he's out there working on his footwork, which is a huge thing to have as an elite wide receiver. So
right, especially if you're playing zones, or you're playing man-on-man.
All right, so summarize it for me real quick, Timmy. This week in Cleveland, what happened?
We already summarized it.
Summarize one more time for me.
MLB, Cleveland hosted pretty strong. Bieber won MVP. Hue Jackson is a god in his own mind. Everyone thinks Baker has MVP potential this year. Duke Johnson flipped the agents. Steven Adams trade rumors after OKC's in full-on rebuild mode, and then jail extension.
And OBJ working with Footwork King. So that's our week in Cleveland. All right, very last segment of our episode here, and I hope you guys enjoy this one. We're going to do another buy-sell. So, Timmy, I don't know how you feel about this, but are you going to buy or sell that the Indians will win the AL Central?
I'm going to buy that. I think just the momentum that they left off with before the break, the 6-game win streak, going into the series against Twins this weekend, I think it would catapult them into at least 8 of the last 9 games to be wins. And I think the trade here to push their batting and figure out their batting a little bit, while you have your pitchers get a little bit more healthy, would kind of have a overall kind of aspect. kind of round them out into a playoff team and reach that pinnacle.
I'm going to buy it as well. I think the Indians have all the momentum, and as we know in baseball and a lot of sports holds true, that when you get hot at the right time, that's all you need. And this team is just starting to heat up, and we're getting that momentum. And the Twins are on the struggle bus right now a little bit. So it's the perfect time for us to add a little bit more talent and for us to take the next leap and go towards the playoffs and grab this division while it's open. So I'm going to say I buy it. I think the Indians are a division winner. Like they're bound to win this division here, and they're projecting that way. So I'm buying it.
Okay, and our Browns buy or sell. We're going to change up a little bit what we have down. Do you believe Baker Mayfield will win MVP this season?
Dude, you're making this too easy for it. I'm going to buy it, man. We just talked about how...
Not a candidate. We'll win it.
Yeah, I'm buying this because the Browns have too many weapons, and if you can give the MVP trophy to a guy like Mahomes, who had a rocket year, I believe Baker absolutely could win the MVP trophy with all the weapons he has. As long as he's staying healthy, he's MVP bound. It's gonna happen.
Okay.
This team's gonna put up some major points.
And then I'm gonna give you two over unders as well. They'll have one Browns, and we'll have one Cavs. Browns over and under. Do you think Nick Chubb will have over or under 1,500 all-purpose yards?
Oh man, that's a tough one.
Because Kareem Hunt isn't gonna be back until.
I'm gonna go under because Kareem Hunt. Because Kareem Hunt's gonna come back obviously week 8. And then I know
he almost had 1,000 last year.
Yeah,
and then he only started 12 games. Yeah,
but I think with all the weapons out there, he'll hit 1,000 yards. But I think it's gonna be like just close.
The spread of the offense is gonna be a little bit.
There's a lot of weapons you're gonna get to, and we haven't even really touched on Njoku, and he's gonna have a rocket year. I think.
Yeah, I think most of his potential, most of his ceiling hasn't even been shown.
So yeah, Njoku is gonna be awesome, but I think Chubb is gonna have a huge year. But just the 1,500 yards is a lot. You're gonna be run heavy, but you gotta remember you're gonna have a lot of guys you gotta get touches to. But Baker does a good job with that, so I'm gonna go under the 1,500 though. But I think he'll have a 1,000-yard running season.
I agree. I'm gonna sell that one. I agree that there's so many weapons that haven't even touched on. People all sleeping on Antonio Callaway, who offensive coaches on the Browns have said that he looks physically more fit, bigger, stronger, faster than he was last year. And remember, last year was his first year coming off of that suspended season over in Florida college.
I love what.
So that was his first year back, and he was very rusty. So having a full off season to prepare and get his body right, I think he'll be underrated target for Baker, as well as Baker favorite Hollywood Higgins.
Hollywood Higgins,
he's been putting in work, and he's been healthy for months.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm all about
it. I think all that will kind of
won't allow Chubb.
Won't allow Chubb.
Way too many weapons. Way too many weapons.
But I do think he has a possibility of having those 8 to 10 touchdowns.
All right, I got a Cavs over under for you. The Cavs by Vegas said they're going to get 23.5 wins. You think they're going to go over or under that total?
Over. That's disrespectful. We saw the different type of team that the Cavs were with Kevin Love back. He takes so much pressure off young guys like Jetty Osman and Colin Sexton and Marquise Chris. I just didn't say
Marquise Chris. Get the crap out of here with this Marquise Chris crap.
He's the only one that came to mind.
Timmy,
Brandon Knight. Whatever.
You added 3 rookies that are going to contribute. And then you got a healthy Kevin Love and a Colin Sexton going into his second year.
Kevin Love. I haven't got to them there.
Okay,
but it's along the lines of making. I think the turn away the ball handling responsibilities from Colin Sexton over to Darius Garland, who's a much more natural playmaker.
Yes.
You put Colin Sexton at the 2 guard, let him score, let him run on the break, and not let him have to worry about running an offense.
Factoid.
Then you have Kevin Porter, who a few people in the Cavs organization had him as a top 5 pick. They got him at 30. He's coming off that hip flexor, but he had a little bit of issues with the college coach. But under the right management, he could be a diamond in the rough.
Absolutely.
What about you?
I'm going to say absolutely over. I love this line because I think the Cavs will have a healthy Kevin Love, and he'll go to work, and the season's going to look really nice. So one of the nice little factoids I got about this is when Colin Sexton didn't have Love, so before Love came back, he was shooting about 10% of his threes as spot ups. So ball out of his hands, ball swung to Sexton, pull a three, 10% of the time. When Kevin Love got back, that number went up to 17%. Now that's a big number in basketball here because we know that a spot shot is a higher percentage look than a straight pull-up jumper because your balance is better, your mechanics are better. You're just going to have a higher percentage of hitting that shot. So that correlates with Sexton's boost in three-point percentage and boost in scoring in the second half. So imagine this now. Now we're taking him off the ball completely, or most of it, and we'll let Garland run the offense. How much more of those spot ups going to go to Sexton versus the off the dribble
and
shots?
You can push it on one further and say not only spot ups but his overall efficiency on offense. Because a lot of people thought he was shooting near 50% from the field when he's shooting more towards 43, 42% throughout the entire year. So it's better him, and especially with the work ethic as well in the offseason, and as well as coming off ball, having fully healthy Kevin Love.
He's fixed his release a little bit too.
Efficiency go up a little bit.
Yeah, Sexton's fixed his release a little too. He's got a little more.
I think he'll take a few less threes than he did last year, and expect that efficiency to also increase.
So I like the Cavs over 23.
Yeah, I think it's going to be more towards 35, 37 wins.
I'm for it.
40 probably being the ceiling.
Sure. So
if everything clicks with John Beilein's new offense, Kevin Love being healthy, and these new picks finding some of them.
Yeah, so we're going to over on that. I think expect the Cavs to win just over a fourth of their games is reasonable.
Yes.
So,
yes.
All right. So that's going to wrap things up here for this episode of the Everything Is Earned pod. I'm Big Mike.
I'm Tim.
And remember, in Cleveland, everything is earned.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.